Yes, Kris Randlett. Today is the day. We are finally launching my brand new podcast, Kanceled. So thank you very much for tuning in. Kanceled is all about talking shit with local legends. I have some really cool legends with me today, one of which is right behind the bar. My girl, Natalie. What's up?
Come on, how we doing, guys?
All right. So thank you so much for coming. I know me and the man of honor, Mr. Zack, have a lot to talk about today, but you had told me that you have a surprise that you want to unveil on today's podcast, right?
Surprising news, so stay tuned. We got some good, awesome, exciting news coming.
Super stoked to share that with you folks. But before we do that, I want to introduce my main man, local legend, Mr. Zack Trabbold, the owner of the local Evolve Catering. What's up, my man?
What's going on?
Come on.
How you doing, man?
Good to see you.
Welcome to Cancel.
Happy to be here.
All right, cool, man. Well, we're going to just go ahead and kick this thing off. Thank you so much for being my first contestant, my first guest on Kanceled.
Absolutely, you're excited, man. It's an honor to be the first person for the podcast. So.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much. It was funny. You and I were just talking, whatever it was last week, and I told you I was going to do it, and you said...
I literally was like, I was just thinking about that. We had a meeting with my team, and I was like, man, I really want to start a podcast. And then you sent me the logo, and I was like, this is badass. I can't wait to be a part of it. So
Here we go. So I met Zack, I think it's 3 or 4 years ago now?
about that, yeah.
Yeah, so like, how long ago did you open up the local?
So we've been almost 4 years now. So August 31st was our original location in Falston, 2021.
Okay, so like right after COVID. Gotcha.
Like kind of, right towards the end of COVID.
Yeah, because I remember coming back from Florida. We were down there just hunkering down because nothing was open up here. We said, fuck that, we're not coming up here.
Absolutely.
And all I see is all my friends and everybody in the neighborhood's going to this new restaurant, the local. And I'm like, well, when we get back, we're going to have to check this place out.
It was crazy too, because I remember, my director of operations, Lou, who's like one of my, good friends. I took her through it. I took a bunch of other people through it, and they're like, "Are you crazy? You're gonna open up a restaurant and a Pizza Hut?"
It was a crappy little Pizza Hut. He brought me. He's like, "This is it," and I'm like, "Oh, right."
I forgot
like,
Pizza Hut was there.
I'm not sure about this. I don't know.
Yeah, but Lou was the only one that actually like believed in the place as well, and
My man Lou.
Yeah,
Wow.
Lou's the man. And we look back now. It seems like it's been 10 years, but it's been 4. But it's been a great ride, and I'm super stoked about what's to come.
Well, you guys brought a great product, quality, everything. Something that we're friends with a bunch of different restaurateurs, which is pretty cool. But we just needed a fresh face, a fresh dish, so to speak. It was cool. One of the things I will tell you about this guy, I just had heard of him, and I remember we were at Acapello, and I was walking in, walking out, and you were doing the same thing, and I'd seen you, but I didn't know you, and you had a local shirt on. You're like, "Hi, I'm Zack. I own a local. Come on up to my place."
Yep. That's what I feel like I did that everywhere I go, especially people that are known in the community like you. I wanted to kind of just get myself out there, and I think that was one of the biggest parts that helped us in the beginning, is that we just did whatever we could to, kind of put ourselves in the whether it was good or bad spotlight in the beginning, but whatever we could do.
There's no such thing as bad publicity.
Exactly, right? That's what I've always heard. So, it was awesome, and to look back now, it's just been a crazy ride.
Well, you've absolutely killed it. So that was 2021, and then you're down at White Marsh now also.
Yep.
So that's a much bigger footprint, big place.
Huge footprint in White Marsh. It was really, really crazy. Roller coaster, I guess you could call it in the beginning. It was really hard finding people. Especially in the restaurant business, people weren't, really ready to go back to work yet, because a lot of people changed their careers because of the hospitality industry.
It was a different world that we were all living in. People we were affected by it a little bit. People want to start working from home. I'm like, how are we going to get shit done if you're working from home?
Exactly, right.
In restaurant business, that definitely doesn't work.
Not at all. So, but 2022, we opened our catering hall across the street. And that's why we named it Evolved Hospitality Group, because we kind of just steady evolving as we go, and kind of doing whatever we can.
That you have done. So we had our Christmas party down there last year. You guys did a phenomenal job. Very high-end catering hall. Again, something else. No disrespect to any of the other catering halls out there, but just needed a different flavor, an elevated catering hall. So when you go there, you don't feel like you're going to the old bull roast.
Absolutely. But we can do a bull roast as well.
Yeah, and I've been to a ton of bull roasts, but either way, the place is beautiful inside. The flooring and everything else. It literally it's evolved.
Absolutely, and we just expanded that now, so we can hold just up a little over 300 people depending on the event. And now we're in White Marsh as well. It's been great. We just named top 5 restaurants in Baltimore County. So
that's awesome.
Cheers to that.
That's awesome.
And we have a really, really good team. Our head chef down there, Jeremy Wright's awesome. Our general manager, Mark Dixon.
Mark's the man. Shout out to Mark.
Yeah, Mark's the man. He was my best man in my wedding. He's just been a really good friend of mine. So.
Yeah, he's a good dude. When I'm down at White Marsh, he always comes up, gives us a hug, and always takes care of us. So, but again, I was fortunate enough to be invited to a couple of your company Christmas parties, and outsider looking in as an entrepreneur, business owner, the way that you treat your people and the way that they treat you and respond to both you and Natalie, it's literally you guys have put together like a family. And it just, you can tell everybody cares about each other.
And that's exactly what we say every time. I mean, we don't say, employees or this, that, and the third. It's always family, because we literally treat people as if they're family. And one of our slogans and our mottos all the time to, our team is, we don't call guests, or we don't call customers, we call them guests.
Right.
And, we always say we're treating people as if they're guests in our home, because I know me and my wife are at the restaurants more than we are at home, so we want to treat them. It is one of our homes, so we always preach that. So it's a really.
It's funny you say that. They have a really, really good brunch. Be careful if you happen to show up there for brunch and they are there, because we could get tuned up from a 1 o'clock brunch to what was that day?
Too many old fashions.
Yeah. I think it was dinner time by the time we left.
Yeah, 11 o'clock turns into 7 o'clock, and then you're like looking around like, oh, I got to go to work in the morning.
Yeah. But no, you guys have absolutely killed it. And so you got the catering hall. You started out in Falston. You have this giant place down in White Marsh. I know somebody wants to drop a bomb here in a little bit about, maybe something else going on, but outsider looking in, I know I've been in business 35 years, and a lot of times.
Which is a huge, huge thing. I mean, I feel like 4 years has been 15, but congratulations, because it takes a lot.
Thank you. It does take a lot, and that's what I want to ask you about. So, outsider looking in, you guys basically have skyrocketed. You got these big places, you got Evolve Catering, you're looking at maybe something else, and it seems so easy. I know it's not easy.
No.
Tell me, what was one of the hardest things, whether it's restaurant 1, 2, or 3, what was one of the hardest things?
I mean, I think from 1, 2, and 3, and then you add 3 together. We also have a coffee shop, which one of my business partners run, for the most part, called Grounded, and I help whenever I can. But if you look back at the first location when we were building the local in Falston, we had 3 kitchen chefs, that we were paying from the beginning. It was me and my wife. Some family help from Lou and his, family,
right.
Patty and Nicole, Chelsea, the whole family was helping. And then our 2 managers, Mark being one of them, and then another one, Sammy. And, we were about 2 weeks away. We were supposed to open in July, I think it was.
Right.
We ended up not opening until August 31st because of the liquor license. We had to, wait for that.
Hartford County.
Yeah, we had to wait for that. And
We'll let that one go.
Yeah, we'll let that one slide for now. But I remember calling my wife, and we weren't married at the time, but we've been together for a long time, and I literally was to the point where I told her, I was like, I don't know what we're gonna do. I was like, payroll's due in 2 days, and we have literally $500 in our business account.
Yeah.
And
I think we've all been there. I mean, nobody likes to talk about it.
No, it's the truth.
And it's humbling, but it happens, and it's the way you grind through it.
100%.
So how did you figure out how to make payroll if you only got 500 beans in the bank account?
So one of the biggest things, and my last thing was, now I could call my partners and be like, hey, I have really great people involved with me,
Right.
that seen the vision that we had in the beginning. But in the beginning, I was new in the business, so I wasn't going to be like, I got to call these guys and we need money. And,
Right.
and I didn't think
Right.
that was the right thing, being a young entrepreneur. And, I feel like, when you put, God and family first, and, this restaurant reached out to me, and literally the next day I had a check in my hand for $35,000. And
Nice.
I did a consulting job for a local restaurant who, their kitchen staff walked out on them, and I took my whole team there. We got them up and running in a week.
Wow,
So
that's
they were
impressive.
really-
That's impressive.
Yeah, it was an amazing experience. And then, we opened the local a couple weeks later, and it was gangbusters.
There you
So
go. There you go.
It was a blessing for sure.
God opens up doors when you either least expect it or really, really need it. So
Absolutely.
it's very fortunate. Like I said, I have, again, 35 years. I should say 100 of those stories, but I have more of those stories than I
bet.
I remember in 2008, that was the big recession, and we just opened up the Kitchen Design Center. I just put $300,000 in the Kitchen Design Center, built it all out with all high-end kitchen displays and an addition, and flooring, and you name it, because we were doing really well, and all of my competitors, who I was very friendly with, other contractors in the local area, we'd see them down at the home and garden shows. We're all doing the same thing, trying to get new business. And they're like, Kris, what are you doing? Why are you opening that place up? I'm like, because we're killing it, bro.
Yeah, things are great.
We're killing it. And I'm like, why? And they're like, we can't get any business. I'm like, we're booked up for 3 or 4 months. We're solid, bro. And literally, like the next month, their phone just stopped ringing. Like
No
nothing.
way.
We went from everything go, and I literally took $300,000 of my own money. That was like probably my last $300,000. I don't know, I was down to $500, but
Right.
it was pretty shitty.
Pretty low.
And,
especially after being in business for that long.
Yeah.
People
And
don't realize that.
Exactly. That one, that was a tough one. We took it on the chin, and just literally, I went back to work, and not back to work, like really just grinded, and I don't think we were on eating oodles with noodles, but it was close.
Yeah.
And but no, that's what entrepreneurs do.
That's what the grind is. I feel like every day there's something, another obstacle thrown at us, but as long as you have great people, and like you said, you treat people right. Like I always tell my staff that, they caught me jumping on the dumpster because the dumpster guy didn't come in a
Right.
suit to get it to go down. So I'm never
Yeah.
going to ask them to do something that I wouldn't do myself.
I do the same thing. We have 2 offices now. We had the 3rd one in Florida. We're in the process of shutting that down. But same thing. I go there. Trash is overflowed, dude. I'm taking out the trash. And I think, hey, I'm a clean freak. But the other thing is, I think when everybody sees you actually taking out the trash, they're like, well, he's not too good to take out the trash.
Lead by example.
Next time you motherfuckers take out the trash. That'd be great. That'd be great. But either way, they're all busy, and it's small things. So
Yeah.
I don't, and it doesn't surprise me that you're jumping up and down on your dumpster.
Yeah, you have to. Sometimes it is what it is. Wiping up the toilet seat, whatever it takes, to make things tick. And
Exactly.
that's what it's all about.
Exactly. So one of the cool things that I always see about you, and this is it's funny, it reminds me of our friend Scott Calista Enterprises. Big shout out to Calista Enterprises. We've been partnered with him for over 20 years. Does a lot of our exterior work, does a phenomenal job. But he's always told me, like, when he's hiring somebody, he'll take them out on the job site and see how fast they walk.
Yeah.
He goes, because slow guy, we ain't getting no shit done. He
Yeah.
goes, I want to see the speed somebody has. And I just thought it was hysterical. It's true, but I've been to so many events where you're either not supposed to be working, but you're still working, but you're in charge of the catering, and you're always hustling. You're like running and dialed in with your with the walkie-talkies and just cleaning up stuff and not shouting orders. I mean, because you're not that guy, but you're getting stuff done, which
100%.
super impressive.
I always tell our team we do a pre-shift, every shift. So whether it's right before lunch service or right before dinner service, and we get everybody together. And I said, as soon as the rush hits, you need to take it from fourth gear and put it into fifth.
Right.
Because if I'm walking faster than you are, that means you got to pick it up.
Yeah.
And it's a huge thing, especially in the hospitality industry, or like you said, with Scott and any business you're in, it's you got to be fast, you got to be precise, and make sure you're getting things done.
No, 1,000%. I think just the leading from the front and just being a good example, as opposed to, like I said, you're not the guy who's just yelling at people. You're like, hey, try to keep up with me.
Yeah.
And I've been doing that for 35 years. I'm like, I'll try to outwork anybody. I mean, we go knock doors, we go jump roofs. I'm rocking and rolling, and I still go out there and do it sometimes just because I fucking can.
Yeah, right. And sometimes it feel like also like I wasn't in the kitchen for a while, and that's my true passion is cooking, and I seen
you there the other day.
Yeah, and I've been in the kitchen. I haven't put on a suit and weeks, months maybe now, and it's all due to the team we have out front that I get to do what I enjoy a little bit more, and I think it's more productive for all of us because that's where my talents really lie. But it's awesome to be able to kind of fit back in and where I think I belong anyway, at least.
Right. Well, you've been is it Maryland's best chef for how many years now? Or
3 years in a row.
Yeah.
Hopefully the thing just came out again, so hopefully 4, we'll see. You know what I mean? But
that's nice, my man. My man, that's freaking awesome. So what else can we talk about? So yeah, I think just one of the things is having the right people working with you or on your team, whether it's partners or whatever, staff or managers. Because again, you can't do it by yourself. I know Natalie is a key. Oh, by the way, Natalie, she's off camera right now. Old Fashioned was awesome. Thank you very much.
Yep. Yeah, she's the best.
Local,
she's the best.
Old Fashioned. They can have them smoked also. Highly recommend that. And charcuterie looks like a work of art. So thank you for bringing that, guys, and supporting us.
Absolutely. That's something we're definitely known for. But I think the biggest thing is, like you said, your team. We've already mentioned Lou, who is the thing we're going to talk about later. I'm super excited because nobody deserves it more than him.
Yeah.
But my wife, she's, they say, entrepreneur, and I know your wife is the same way. It takes a special kind of person to date people like us, or be married to people like us.
We're not easy. This is a disclaimer. If you're hanging out with an entrepreneur or somebody who wants to own a company, buckle up, because it's not fucking easy.
Yeah, it's going to be a wild ride.
And I love my wife. Thank you for putting up with my crazy ass.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Because it's tough, and especially we live together, we work together, the whole nine. And but not just that, the team, like you said, our regional manager Nicole Standish. I mean,
she's a studette. She's awesome.
I mean, I don't know what we would do without her. Yeah. I mean, she literally is one of a kind. I mean, our corporate chef Mike Everett,
also stud.
I mean, it's just the people, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I learned a lot of it from, watching you guys at your holiday parties and you're giving out awards and people want to be motivated and they want to be recognized, and it's just human nature, I feel like, and it's a huge thing. And that's why I call you, and I call Mike DeLuca, and I call other people in business and my partners, Bobby, Randy, Scott Nortman, the list goes on and on. Right. Howard, Vince Piccinini, everybody that, like I said, that believed in me to kind of start this thing.
Yeah.
And a funny story is, so my wife used to bartend at Steelfish, and I used to go there all the time and just get drunk. If I'm being honest.
Same.
Yeah, and we would go in, and I'd be there all day, and even crazier story is, I wasn't working because I got laid off I was working for Atlas Restaurant Group, and every restaurant closed, and we were living together at a time, me and my wife, and I'm like, I don't know what to do, and she's like, well, I'm tired of coming home at noon and you're drunk. And you got to do something,
guys. It's tough hanging out with entrepreneurs.
Yeah,
Especially if
exactly.
they don't have a fucking job.
Exactly. So, I would have the laundry done, the house be clean,
Well, that's good.
and I'm like, what else do I got to do? So I started having a couple drinks.
Crack one open.
And, I told her a guy I knew, actually, this is even before the local, was selling this little crappy catering company in Elkton, Maryland. I mean, it was in a shopping center that looked like should have been blown up. It was, there was like one dirty little nail salon and then us. And that was it. And I was like, I don't know how I'm going to do it. And my wife believed in me, gave me 10 grand. Her last 10 grand that she had
Wow.
to start the company, and that's what
pretty
blew
cool.
us up to local. But
That's awesome. That's a good story.
Yeah, another funny story is Bobby, my first partner, was an investor into where she worked, and I remember he had this Range Rover that was, I'm sure you used to see it was pot leaves all over it. 'Cause
Yeah,
he owned a,
Shout out to Bobby Windsor. He's the weed dude. He's done well.
Nature's Care and Wellness, best dispensary out there, and
NCW.
that's where our coffee shop is, grounded right next to it. And I literally meets me in the parking lot. He's like, I'm in. Lou introduced me to him. I'm in. Cool. I was like, I didn't give you a business plan.
That sounds like him.
Of operating agreement, nothing. And he handed me $50,000 cash. And I was like, Natalie, this dude just literally pulled up in a weed mobile and gave me 50 grand. And I was like, is this normal? Like,
Are we gonna have to edit this out?
maybe, I don't know.
All right.
Sorry, Bobby.
It's gonna be a you. It's gonna be a you call, Bobby.
Yeah.
Like post editing or not.
Yeah, I'll text you. I'll text you after this. But I feel like that's one of the biggest things is when you have people and they a lot of times they believe in the person, the vision as well. But they believed in me, and it's been not all success, but even this past year has been tough.
Yeah.
So,
It's and again, doing it 35 years. That's what you're going to run into. There's always going to be hard times, and I think the thing that they always say, like obviously don't give up, and somebody sent me a meme the other day. It's like I lost $10,000 to make my first 100,000. I lost 100,000 to make my first million. On and on and on, and as crazy as it sounds, I've been there, and that's really what it costs. I mean, I've had multiple companies where I've had partners didn't fare out so well, and I think a lot of people have been there also. But it's the person, it's the team. Like I have a really good team. Obviously, Cody as one of my vice presidents. Jeff Allman is my vice president. Jason, who just joined our team, one of our vice presidents, Ian, and they own certain divisions and pieces of the company. Like that's what their job is. And same thing with Shelby, Joanne, who's my general manager. Shelby's my operations manager.
Shelby's a rock star.
And again, I could not be where I'm at, be able to live the lifestyle. I travel. Dawn and I are down in Florida and everything else. I would not be able to do anything that I have going on, and that's just top tier. I mean, we have. What did you guys say? You have 190 employees?
193 was it you said?
Dude, I don't know how you have any hair left. I think
Not much,
I think we go back from like 80 to 100, and that's a lot.
So a lot of them are not full-time people. We have serving staff and catering team that aren't there all the time. But again, like you said, I think one of the biggest things that has helped me this year is my ownership group. We meet once a month now. We weren't doing that before.
Yeah.
And
having a shared vision is extremely important.
And it's been amazing for us because like we're looking at things, and a lot of these guys haven't been in the restaurant industry. You know what I mean? And it's like. Even when I talk to you about business is business,
Right.
and these guys are all in different fields, and it kind of makes things a little easier moving forward,
Revenue is revenue, but again, everything is a little bit different, but at the end of the day, it's volume, and then you're obviously whatever your final margins are.
100%.
It's a math equation, but that sounds really easy. When you have almost 200 employees, you're also a counselor, you're a dad,
bank.
You're a bank. I stopped doing that years ago. Just scratch that.
Yeah.
Like, do not be the bank. I shouldn't say that. I still bank out a little bit, but just to my favorites.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, you have to wear a zillion different hats to do what we do, and you've done it very, very well.
And thank you. It's crazy. Like sometimes I look back. Another crazy story. I'm at the bar on Saturday night, the first restaurant job I've ever had, and just kind of leading to this. This girl's like, "Is Zach here?" And the bartender says to me, "Do you know this girl?" And I was like, "I have no idea who she is. I mean, she's kind of good looking, but." Love
Dude,
you, babe.
your wife's right over
I know.
off camera, just so you know. All right.
But I'm like,
I
no,
edit this.
and she's like, I used to work with you at this restaurant in Adriatico down the beach years ago. And she also said my brother used to be good looking, which I was like very confused by. But anyway.
Dude, that's harsh.
But you know, like.
Bud, you're a good looking guy, bro. I wouldn't do you, but either way.
But it's just funny to see like somebody and they're like, because I was such, you know, a shithead when I was a kid. You know, I had a rough bring. You know, I didn't have it easy growing up, and a lot of people think you're just, you know, handed things. You know, but it takes a lot of hard work, and it was just so cool to see her. And she's like, "I'm so proud of you. Like, this is amazing what you built." And it was a really good feeling for her to see me when I was a screw up, bussing tables and all that stuff.
People, I think human nature, I really do. Most people, like her, just decent people, want to see people do well.
100%.
There's always gonna be haters, and y'all keep on hating, and just have at it.
It makes us better.
Yeah, but you have a story, because you told me. I mean, again, we all have a story. These stories, and one of the reasons I wanted to do the podcast is like, it really doesn't matter where you came from. I mean, I came from a decent upbringing. It was crazy. Grew up in the 70s and 80s with a single dad of 4, and I'll tell you some of those stories. But what was because your brother ended up basically raising you, right?
Yeah. So when I was 14, my dad got really sick. My mom wasn't mentally stable enough to take care of us, so they wouldn't give her custody. And my brother was like just graduated high school. He was getting ready to go to college and do his thing. And I remember whatever child services come in one day, and my buddy's mom was like, "I'm going to adopt you. You don't have to worry about it. We're going to figure it out."
Right.
And her and my brother went to court, and they gave custody to my brother, who was 18 years old at the time. Thank God, because, you know, or I would have been in foster care.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, my brother, I mean, I was working, bussing tables at that restaurant that girl talked about.
Right.
And my brother would he worked at the same restaurant, and he would give me, I don't know, $20 or whatever I made in my tips a day, and he'd keep the rest. He'd put it away. And that's why, I mean, I learned a lot.
He was keeping his thumb on you.
Well, he needed help too, you know, with the bills and stuff, because we were also taking care of my dad at the time, because, you know, he was like a child basically in his mind.
Wow.
But, you know, I veered off as well. I went down a path that, you know, my brother wasn't teaching me for sure. And I had some hard lessons, you know, through my life. But I think those lessons, and I won't get into the whole detail, but, you know, drugs and all those kind of things, you know, that I was doing, it literally made me not the person I know I am. And, but I think those lessons is what kind of brought me to where I'm at today. And it's awesome. Like that lady that came in the restaurant, to see where I was to where I am now. And I'm not, you know, there yet, but, you know,
well, hey, you're a very humble guy. Don't cut yourself short. You've become very successful. Outsider looking in, like I said, you know, just again, I'm a company guy, I'm a family guy, and to see that kind of come together, I see how your whole company views you and Natalie and Lou and Nicole. It's inspiring, and you know, same thing is the other reason I want to do this podcast is, guys, if you're out there and you're struggling with drugs, get yourself some help. I've been there. He's been there. Unfortunately, I guess we all have those stories. I've been clean for 30 plus years.
Yeah.
But nothing good is coming from it, and you know, everything good afterwards. There's light at the end of the tunnel. You know, I was just telling Dawn, we watched church yesterday, and there was a hymn that came on, of something about being worthless, and something just hit me. I'm like, That's me when I was 20, when my old man kicked me out of my house.
I remember you told me
and I
that.
was really tight with my old man, and you know, I did the sleeping on everybody's couch for about a year, and just absolutely miserable, and just figured, hey, maybe just not doing drugs would be a good start.
Yeah, that's step one right there.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. So literally just got my head clear and just figured out like 6 different jobs that I really wasn't good at any of them. I was bartending. I was not a good bartender. Bud can, Bud drink.
You're good on this side of the bar.
Yeah. I'm a pro over here. I always wanted to be in the sub shop business. I used to work at my. Dude, trust me, I totally get it. I went through the same thing when I was a kid, and you know, came from I think a good family. My dad raised 4 boys in Overly. My mom was gone at a very, very young age, and it literally was like a frat house where I grew up. I mean, everybody just did their own thing. It was just normal to us. But anyway, long story short, I was like super tight with my dad. Like, you know how close I am with Cody.
Yeah.
Shout out to my boy. Love you, man. We were like super tight, but he saw that I was still living at the house.
Right.
You know, and he saw that I just wasn't doing the right things. He knew I was partying and just doing the stupid shit. So he kicked me out, and it was tough. I was living on all my friends' couches for a better part of a year, and end up moving in with one of my older brothers. And I just feel like that's what I was telling Dawn yesterday. We were watching church, and it was whatever the hymn was. It was, you know, something about being worthless, and it just kind of clicked. Like I hadn't had that
crazy
feeling.
how that stuff like happens when you feel it like that.
I hadn't had that feeling in 30 plus years, like almost 40 years, and it hurt. It was like, man, I was there, you know, because I'm a pretty confident guy now. I'm relatively successful, and you know, I got love all around me. I'm right where I want to be, and but no, it's tough. And again, it was because of drugs, and you know, went down, like you had mentioned, went down the wrong path. Something that I don't share this with many people, but everybody knows drugs is bad. So if you're doing drugs, just fucking stop doing drugs, please.
Stop.
Yeah, there's nothing good coming from it. And you know, seek counseling, seek help, reach out to me.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
I mean, I still help. I've helped a cook, you know, go to treatment. It's what it's about.
Yep, exactly. And that'll kind of roll into one of the other things that I love about you. You know, I see you in me, and and I wasn't as involved in a community at your age as you already are. So it's really cool. You know, I was trying to get more established, and at the end of the day, it's, hey, pay it forward.
Yeah.
You know, and you're involved in so many different organizations, and you know, your name's on everything to help out, which is really cool. So
so is yours, and I think I learned a lot of it from people like you. And you know, like you said, you know, community is everything. And where I'm from in Delaware, I'm sure it is. You know, I'm at a different part of my life since I've been in Maryland. But one thing I will say about the Hartford County community is like they've, you know, kind of put their arms around us.
Yeah.
And, you know, I have better, I wouldn't even call them friends, I would call them family. And, you know, 5, 6, 7, 8 years, or however long we've been here now, for what, 10 years? You know, people like you, the DeLucas, you know, the Petrucci, I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And, you know, you see people like that, the SIAB organization.
Shout out to SIAB, Society of Italian American Businessmen. Guys are killing it in our community. Most of them are entrepreneurs, a lot of restaurateurs, which that's the other cool thing about Zack, and as well as most of the restaurateurs is it's not a competition. Everybody digs in, helps each other, brings people up, and same thing, a different industry. Outside looking in, it's really cool to see that you're friends with Liberatory and Acapella. I know you're friends with ATM down there.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it's all about. You know, the owners of Mucho Gusto, the owners of Liberatories, Acapella. I mean, the list goes on and on. I think, you know, Fast Eddie's. I mean, like everybody in this community.
Fast Eddie's Best Pit Beef, man.
Great people. You know, Falston Barrel House. The list goes on. And I think if you build people up and care about people, and it's as little as somebody calls you. I called Bill from the Barrel House the other day. Hey, you got any bags I can borrow? They were shorted on my order. Yeah, come right down. Like,
right.
I think that's what it's all about, and giving back to the community again. Like I've learned from people like you. That do it all the time. Extreme family outreach, what you do with them is like insane, and that's what I mirrored it after our last, our anniversary last year. That's what we gave the donation to.
Yeah.
And if you keep doing that, I feel like it not only does it feel good, but you're giving to something that has value and it's meaningful, and you're helping somebody out, because I was that person, 20 years ago that needed help. And
true that
it's paying it forward.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's amazing to do, and I'm glad we're able to do it now.
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely. I feel as if it's my duty to do it. I'm in a position where I have a following, a little bit of spotlight, and I have the funds to do it. But I started doing it even when I didn't have all of that.
100%.
And that was something that I got from my dad. My dad used to, really cool story is, he started out very differently than, just doing the turkey giveaways. I remember back in the late 70s, early 80s, he would come home and he had, his friend lived right down the street, owned Buck Fowers. Shout out to Buck Fowers, still in business. And Overley, and they would go down to the basement. All the liquor, or a lot of the liquor they didn't sell that year, that was just like samples of whatever. He would get all that and then go across the street and get like 4 cartons of cigarettes. And then we would take it downtown. And the bums that were laying there, homeless people laying, back then they called them bums.
Yeah.
The homeless people that were laying on the street, we literally would put a bottle of something and a pack of cigarettes. And that was for Thanksgiving or Christmas.
They probably loved it.
Yeah, and I, as I got older, I was a little guy then, and then like when I was like 10 or 11 years old, I'm like, Dad, that's good and everything, but like, how about if we fed them?
Yeah, maybe the liquor and the cigarettes is not the best move.
So he listened. He actually listened to me at 10 or 11 years old. He's like, yeah, let's do turkeys. I'm like, that's a great idea.
That's awesome.
So and we just started doing a turkey giveaway, and we would just go down in bad, like Armstead Gardens. No disrespect to Armstead Gardens. There's a lot of people that just need help down there, and all those areas around there. Some places in Essex, and we would just show up, me and my brothers, in our cars full of food, turkeys, and all the other stuff. We'd blow the horns, and people would come out like mad, like, "What are you doing?" Like Wednesday night before Thanksgiving, like, blowing a horn, making all kinds of ruckus. They come out like, "You got a problem? Like, you got dinner?" They're like, "What?" They're like, "You got Thanksgiving dinner for tomorrow?" They're like, "No." I'm like, "You do now." And
right.
that's literally
awesome.
that's how we started.
You and your brother are still doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Years and years later.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
My brother Keith Randlett owns Superior. He absolutely kills it. He's gone next level with a couple different churches, and does just a phenomenal job.
That's awesome, though, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
And, like you said, I think the turkeys and dinner are a little bit better than a bottle of booze and a carton of cigarettes, but all right, it is what it is.
God rest my father's soul. He tried.
That's a thought that counts.
He absolutely tried. I mean, he liked partying. He liked smoking cigarettes. He figured that's what they wanted. I guess I don't know.
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
That doesn't make it right. Well, listen, dude, this was awesome. I know your beautiful wife really wants to drop the bomb on what you guys have coming up. I'm so excited to hear about it, and I already know, but let's make it official.
Yeah.
So, Natalie, what do you got cooking?
Am I doing it?
Yeah, it's named after you.
All right, so we are opening. Did we say where?
You can just say whatever.
We are opening Natalie's Seafood Kitchen. It's going to be right next to our catering center, Evolved Events, where Uncle's used to be. We officially have bought it, and probably within the next few months we're going to be opening.
Yep.
So.
Awesome.
So, all new interior. Everything's going to be brand new, redone. Big blowout party. We hope it open here soon. So we're very excited. And can't wait to share it with everybody.
And no, I did not force him to name it that.
I had the idea.
I didn't hold a knife over him.
So what's the theme going to be there? Because you already have elevated food here, Evolve Catering, elevated local down in in White Marsh. Is it going to be the same theme or?
No, so Natalie's Seafood Kitchen is basically going to be, we have everything from every single game going on in our one bar to the tiki bar outside.
Nice.
I mean, but it's going to be more a place that you can come to 5-6 days a week, and it's not going to be the price point of the local.
Okay.
Flatbreads, delicious, fresh seafood, sushi, raw items, steamer pots, the whole thing.
I like some steamer pots.
Yeah, we're very excited for it, and I think it's what Hartford County really wants. And like I said, it's funny how God works in mysterious ways because, full transparency, wasn't the best year for restaurant business the way the economy was.
Right.
Eggs are expensive, everything's expensive.
Of course.
And somebody came to us and was like, hey, we want to do this, we'll handle this, that, and the third. Do you have something, new idea? I said, yeah, I've had this concept in my head for 5 years.
Right.
We're ready to go.
Right.
I got the logo, I got everything, we're ready to go. And it's a blessing and we're excited. Excited it's named after my wife. And
congrats.
So it's gonna be awesome.
That's awesome. Well, we could not be happier for you guys. More excited because again, everything you guys do is awesome. I like the idea of sports theme and a lighter menu because I go up to the local. It's fantastic, but then I'm ready for a nap after that. Right. So, but no, and maybe I don't want to let the cat out of the bag. Are you going to have music there?
Music 7 days a week. We're talking some of the best bands that this county for sure has ever seen. And our grand opening is going to be next level. You better believe that. We're talking lights in the sky, you name it. Bands all week long, 3-4 times a day. So we're very excited for it.
That's very cool. And I think it's a great venue. So you guys are literally have your own dynasty now in Fallston because you have the Fallston local, Evolve Catering, and then Natalie's
Seafood Kitchen.
Natalie's Seafood Kitchen. You better get there or be square.
Yeah.
So, and we're thinking early spring, mid-spring, something like that.
Early spring. We're hoping for
as soon as we can.
Are we waiting on Hartford County to do anything? Because
actually we got the ball rolling.
Tony G, can you help us out?
Yeah. But we're super excited for it, and I think it's going to bring something to this area that's not here now currently.
Yeah.
And people in this area just want good food, and it's somewhere where you can bring your family. There's a dining room area for that, where the kids can come.
Right.
We're going to have lobster tanks, fish tanks everywhere. We're naming the one bar after our dog Rocky, so it's going to be called Rocky's Lounge.
Nice.
And that'll be like the sports area.
Right.
The tiki bar outside. All kinds of cool stuff. It's going to be next level.
Is it going to be the Rocky? Are you going to have a Rocky?
No, Rocky, my dog's picture, going to be up there.
Okay.
Our
Well, now that I'm thinking about it, we might just
That's a good
do
idea.
that and put Rocky on the
I was
inside.
going to say, put Rocky's face on Rocky's body.
Oh, that's
that would be
that's
really
what we
cool.
should do.
Yeah.
That's definitely what we're doing. You heard it first, right here.
Dawn's over there shaking her head.
Too much. Well, that's really exciting, guys.
I think that was all the whiskey talking for us.
So either way, I think we did pretty good for our first podcast.
Yeah, absolutely.
I didn't think you and I would ever run out of words
No.
because that's not what we do.
No, we talk all the time anyway.
Dude,
so.
I appreciate you coming out.
Well, thanks for having me.
And I appreciate you mixing up all the drinks, buddy.
Yeah.
And so happy and proud of both of you guys. So
Thank you so
Hey
much.
guys, this is the end of our first round of Canceled. Talking shit with local legends. Come on, guys. These are two local legends. We're going to have a clap track right now. Post edit, it'll be there. It'll be awesome. So either way, I think I'll just leave it with this. Joe Rogan, who?
Yeah. Let's go. I love it.
Peace out, bitches.
That's all. That was awesome.